Hey guys, Brian here from What the Fungus. I just recently saw this really interesting post on one of the Facebook forums that I follow, and the question was, do you need a loan to start a business? Now, you can approach this a couple ways. I think what you really need to start thinking about is, how do I pay myself? How do I pay rent? And how do I meet the cash flow obligations of my business? Can you do this with your personal finances? I think if we want to talk specifically about a mushroom business, I think there's a lot of ways to get started. When I got started, it was around 2012. I'm going to leave a link up to the video that inspired me to get started. And I think a lot of mushroom growers get inspired by the simplicity and the make do attitude to this business, and how there is lots of ways to approach it. But what you really need to realize is that starting a mushroom business, paying your bills, paying yourself, paying rent if you need to do that, that takes a lot of money. And it's not an easy thing to do. I think there's a lot of overconfidence when people are getting started in this business. I think there's a lot of access to information, and that makes people think that this is really easy to do, and that couldn't be further from the truth. If you're just starting out, definitely, figure out how to do everything, do lots of reading, buy all the materials, and start figuring out how to grow mushrooms before you spend a lot of money. That's the most important thing. But if you want to be competitive and you want a business that has an impact in your community, you really need to buy the right equipment. You need to have a business plan, and you need to spend money if you expect to pull a salary. And even doing that, in the first 1 or 2 years, you pulling a salary and making money from a business that you're starting from scratch is so tough. I could do that now because I have 7 years experience, and I could easily start another business and do it right. But you need to have that experience before you can really plan for those expenses. We did a business plan and we made a lot of assumptions, but those assumptions quickly become reality when you start a business. So my answer to, do you need to take out a loan? I think the answer to that is yes. You need to be smart about taking out a loan. Now, how do you want to raise capital for your business? There's lots of examples for that. I'm not going to get into that in this video, but if you have a solid business plan and you have done the research and you maybe seeked mentorship or consultations and you have a solid idea, taking out a loan is not a bad idea. It's just you need to figure out how to make those commitments. Sorry, just excuse me. I'm just doing a little pressure cooking right here. Right now I'm making some agar. Just going to turn that down just a little bit. Perfect. So making those loan commitments is really difficult, and it takes a certain person to be able to do that. It takes someone who's truly passionate and understands business, but also having your business work the way it should. And all of that comes with experience. So for us, taking out a loan was necessary, but once I got into the business, having enough money to do everything I needed was difficult because we didn't accurately figure out how much money we needed. And really, this kind of business costs a lot of money. Most businesses do. And I got fortunate. So I took on a partner, and what that meant is that I was able to move my home-based business to Summerland here, and I was able to set up this business rent-free because I had someone who had an invested interest in my company. And over the years, we've saved a ton of money just on rent by me making that partnership. And that was something that I needed to do to succeed because I didn't really have many options. And most people are not independently wealthy. So starting a business from scratch is very difficult, especially when you want to pay yourself. So for us, the solution was to take on a partner who had land that we could set up our business here. We still had to take out a business loan, and we still had to get everything started, but it's it's necessary if you want to have a business that is well established. So now that we've been working on this business for 6 years here in Summerland, this is year 6. It's 2019. I started my business in 2014. It's all about paying down debt, making the business self-sustainable, working on getting the debt load down, still building up infrastructure and making the company work, because we did take out a loan. And I can do that now because we put in the work. I definitely had days and nights in the beginning where it was really tough. I worked every day. But the point is that taking out a loan is not a bad idea if you have a plan. And starting out in the beginning, when you're starting to learn how this business works, putting up your own money is definitely a good idea. Start small, tinker, figure out how stuff works. But if you want to have a business that is going to be competitive and make an impact in your community, you're going to have to take that risk. Being an entrepreneur, that's what it's all about, is assessing risk and making strategic moves, so with sensing opportunity and just whatever you think will work in your market. That is when a true entrepreneur shines. And if you want to start a business, taking out a loan is just part of the process. And we did that. And I would say what I learned from that is maybe just be smart about it. So if you think you want to take out 100 grand or 50 grand, maybe take out half of that and reassess your business in the 2 to 3 year mark, and maybe evaluate what you need to get to that high level of business. Maybe spending money a few years later is a good strategic plan. For us, we've diversified in a lot of ways, and we grow our business with all these different sources of cash flow. But when I started getting into this, it was very focused on just growing mushrooms, and we didn't have anything coming in, so we needed to get some money into the company, and taking it a loan made sense. And I want to encourage you guys that as long as you have a plan, taking out a loan is not a bad idea. So hope you guys found this helpful. We offer a mentorship program for these reasons, so you can see how my farm works. We teach you the day-to-day, and you really get to understand what it is to be an entrepreneur, to have a mushroom business, and just kind of learn from my mistakes, because you're going to have so many of them. And if you don't have enough capital, you're going to run out of cash flow for your business, and you're not going to succeed. So it's all about making the right moves, and then you can take out a loan, and it's not going to be a bad thing. It's going to be very strategic for your business. So anyways, I hope you found this helpful, guys. I'll leave a link to my website if you guys want to check out our mentorship. We're booking into July right now. Happy to talk to you guys about that if that interests you. I got to get back to work, but we'll see you guys in the next video.